My name is Rick Lastly. I'm principal of Hancock County High School. Last year we earned just under $16,000 profit for the school. And that was selling roughly 840 bed sheets or items. The profits the second year was just over $15,000, and we sold 806 bed sheets. Bed sheet sets or items. It wasn't just the bed sheets. We set goals of 800 both years. So we did better than reaching our goal, which the incentives were set up based on that goal that we set. The first year, we had 176 participants, and that was with 10 to 12 adults also participating. So that's really less than half of our student body that participated, but that's very, very good participation for a high school. Well, we needed to do something different with our school-wide fundraising that we had or tried in the past. We've tried selling candy bars, cookbooks, magazines, and even had events like the high school version of a fall festival. We would work incredibly hard, and the only profit as much as $3,000 to $4,000, and that would be on a good year. This little money to function with for items that we needed. So Amadora provided a practical household item that was good quality and at a reasonable price that made the difference we needed. Well, to be totally honest, the first reaction was bed sheets. Are you kidding me? But after parents were able to check out the samples that we had and compare thread count and cost, the parents bought in, the students bought in after seeing the incentives that we were offering. Between the two, the sales started coming in. But we wanted it to be something tangible that our students would want to buy in because honestly, high school students most of the time could care less about raising money for their school. It's just not a cool thing to do. So the incentives that we offered them were $25 iTunes cards, $25 gift cards for selling 5 or more bed sheets, offering homework passes if they just sold 2 bed sheets, $200 for the top seller, $100 for the second highest seller, third highest seller, so on. Offering them trips as a group. We had class level incentives, so we tried to make it a competition between the grade levels, and so they bought in by competing with each other. And if we reached our 800 goal, the top winning grade level we took to see a movie, only those that participated, and we kept announcing that all the way through. We only provided incentives for the students that were willing to work for it. One thing that we did over the 2-week period that we had our sales, every couple of days I would post a bar graph that showed where each grade level was. And of course they were all competing for that trip to the movies and out to eat to get away from school. You know, any time away from class for a high school student is pretty valuable. So we really played that up. And like I said, every couple of days we would put that revised bar graph out in the main hallway. And I really think that, especially that first year, our sales between the 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th grades were pretty close. It was a pretty close race. So that told me that each grade level was participating equally. One other thing, we gave incentives to our students, but we also gave incentives to our staff members. and they bought in. And we had both years, we had 2 staff members that sold over 60 items themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, we offered incentives for both our students and staff. So I would be glad to share any of that with any principal who would like to contact me. Well, people are very pleased with the quality and the price of the product, especially. They also are very appreciative that we chose a fundraiser. It was a household item, not the candy bars, not the tubs of cheese, not the summer sausage or the trinkets that nobody wants. But I think that's one of the things that made the fundraiser so successful. That first year when they were able to see all the samples, the colors, the thread count, of course, that's very important. I didn't realize that mattered to anybody, but until we started selling bed sheets. But the quality of the product it helped sell. It really did. Well, the way the state of the economy has really impacted things like fundraisers.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and that's part of the reason I feel that this fundraiser is so successful is that, nobody wants to waste their money on that summer sausage that they may not end up finishing, or the fruit cake, or like I said, trinkets or items that aren't good quality and they don't really want. So the fact that this is a household item, that every household needs bed sheets. And from what I've been told, I don't buy bed sheets out and about like I guess my wife does or other people do. But from what I've been told, they're very comparable in price, especially for the quality. And I think that's the big, again, everybody's first reaction is bed sheet fundraiser. Who's ever heard of anything like that?
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that it is that household item, good quality, and people are willing to buy. I think a combination between the incentives spoke to our students, the quality of the product, and the price spoke for itself, and especially that it was a household item.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I've got to say that Amadora stood behind the product, and any issues, and they were very remote, if there were any flaws in the bed sheets or whatever, Amadora stood behind the product and always made an exchange. So that always helps. Well, besides the product speaking for itself, I would tell the high school principals, and I would gladly give them my contact. Mm-hmm. So you guys are feel free to leave my contact information on your website.
Thank you.
But what I would tell the high school principal, and I would share what our incentives have been. Those incentives may not speak to their kids, but I think that the key is finding those items and the incentives that their students want. I feel like that our fundraiser has been successful because our students truly felt rewarded for selling even those 5 bed sheet sets. When you turn around and hand them a $25 iTunes or gift card, they feel like that's a very good reward. So, but that may not speak to other schools. They have to find items and things that they're willing to, that the students are willing to sell bed sheets for. We earned and we profited $16,000 or somewhere around that, and we paid back $3,000. So that's the one thing that we feel that made our fundraiser so successful is that when we're raising that amount of money, and for a small school with 475 kids or whatever, $16,000 is a lot of money. It might not be to a larger school, but we had to show to our students that we were willing to give some of that money back. So even though we gave $3,000 back, we still had $13,000 to use on items that we needed. So that was 10 times better success, or better fundraiser than we've had in the past. It seems to be working, and like I said, we're going to continue to try that as long as we can. You know, when we can raise $15,000 or more, it's a good fundraiser. It's as a matter of fact, before we had that first fundraiser last year, all the fundraisers put together probably did not amount in an 8-year period. We probably did not make $15,000 altogether over an 8-year period. So for our school in 1 year to be able to raise $15,000 is a big deal. It really is.